My spouse told me, "You're staying on the sofa until you say sorry for something you never did." I replied, "Fine, I won't say sorry." 3 weeks passed, and I transformed the spare bedroom into my own private space. When she eventually stepped inside, I, 38 years old male, had been exiled to the couch 3 weeks earlier over something so absurd it still baffles me. My wife, Diana, 36, claimed I was flirting with the new neighbor next door, Melissa, who is only 23 and recently moved in with her boyfriend. Here's exactly what happened. I was bringing out the garbage. Melissa was having trouble with a huge carton. I assisted her in carrying it to her entrance. We talked for perhaps 2 minutes about the area. That was the entire incident. That was the supposed offense. Diana watched this from our window and exploded. She insisted I was all over her and practically drooling. When I attempted to clarify, she snapped, "Don't try to manipulate me, Trevor. I know what I witnessed. You're sleeping on the couch until you say sorry and admit your actions." I stood there momentarily, absorbing the madness, then said, "All right." She looked surprised. "All right, that's all?" "Yeah, all right. I'll sleep on the couch until you say sorry." "Sure." She stormed away, likely assuming I'd beg for forgiveness soon. But the truth is I hadn't done anything wrong. I'm not saying sorry for assisting a neighbor. That's not how it operates. The first night on the couch was miserable. Our sofa is great for lounging, awful for sleeping. My back ached terribly by morning. Diana came downstairs, saw me brewing coffee, and asked, "Ready to say sorry now?" "Nope." She huffed and headed to work. By the third night, I'd had enough of the couch. We have a spare room, reasonably sized, mostly used for storage and Diana's extra wardrobe items. I took my pillow and slept there on the old fold-out sofa, still uncomfortable but preferable to the couch. Diana noticed. "The couch too rough for you?" "Yes, then say sorry." No, she actually smirked, as if she was gaining the upper hand. "Fine, enjoy the fold-out, but this is where things became interesting. I earn a solid income as a project manager. Diana earns well too in marketing, but we maintain separate accounts for personal expenses after shared bills. I had around $3 grand saved for a new toolkit I'd been wanting. Decided to redirect those funds. On day 4, I ordered a memory foam mattress, queen size, $800 with delivery in the same week. Day 7, checked Facebook Marketplace, picked up a leather recliner for $200, a sturdy wooden desk for $150, and a 55-inch television someone was selling cheap for $300. Borrowed my friend Rick's truck, brought everything in while Diana was at her sister's. Day 10, Amazon Prime is wonderful. Microwave for $60, a quick-wave model. Put up some floating shelves for $50. Added a nice area rug for $120 that really pulled the space together. Day 14, this might have been where I became a bit spiteful. Purchased a PlayStation 5 for $500 and a soundbar for $200. Also got blackout curtains for $40 because why not? Day 18, the final details. LED strip lights for ambience, a few posters of bands I'd always wanted to display, and my favorite addition, a digital keypad lock for the door, $150. By the end of week 3, I'd invested about $2,800 converting that spare room into my personal retreat. It was everything our main bedroom lacked. My territory, my preferences, my atmosphere. Diana hadn't entered once. She'd knock now and then, call me childish, but never actually came in. I think she was waiting me out, expecting me to cave. Last night, the tension peaked. I was in my room playing Call of Duty online with Rick when I heard Diana rattle the door handle. It stayed shut, of course. "Trevor, why is this door locked?" I paused the game. "Privacy, open this door right now." "No thanks, I'm fine." Silence, then loud knocking. "Trevor, open this door immediately." I calmly approached the door but didn't unlock it. "Diana, you exiled me from our bedroom. This is my area now. You're free to say sorry for wrongly accusing me whenever you want." "I'm not saying sorry, I know what I saw. Open this door." "No." Then I heard her calling her mother. Oh boy, she put it on speaker so I could hear it all. Typical Diana tactic. "Mom, he's completely lost it. He's barricaded himself in the spare room and won't come out." Her mom, Teresa, always loud. "What do you mean barricaded in his own home? He installed a lock on the spare room door, a real code lock." "Well, why is he sleeping in the spare room, dear?" Diana hesitated. "He's being disciplined." "For what?" "He was flirting with the neighbor." "Was he actually?" "Mom, whose side are you on?" "I'm just asking, sweetheart, what exactly did he do?" Diana went quiet then. "He helped her carry a carton." Even Teresa paused. "That's all, you didn't see the way he was looking at her." "Diana, honey, perhaps you should say sorry. I can't believe you're siding with him." She ended the call, then more pounding. Trevor, I'm calling a locksmith. Go ahead, I replied. I co-own this house. I can install a lock on any interior door I choose. Look it up. I'd already researched it. As long as it doesn't block emergency exit and both owners agree on the property, interior locks are usually allowed. She must have checked too, because the locksmith threat stopped. Then came the messages. Oh man, the messages. This is crazy. You're behaving like a kid. All your clothes are still in our room. I purchased new ones. They're in my wardrobe now. Your wardrobe, it's a spare room. Not anymore. You can't just take over a room. You took over the entire bedroom. I'm making do with what's available. That's not the same. You were punishing me for something I didn't do, so I arranged alternatives. This is ridiculous. Come back to our room. Did you just ask me back? Only if you say sorry. Then no thanks. I'm comfortable here. This morning, while I was at work, she finally entered. I have a camera inside, legally installed. It's my space now. Watched her mouth literally fall open at the changes. She stood in the entrance for about 5 minutes just looking around. Touched the television, the mini fridge, sat in the recliner. Then she spotted the PlayStation, and I swear she looked close to tears. When I returned home, she was at the kitchen table. No rage this time, just resignation. You actually created a full apartment in there. It's just a room with a fridge and microwave and PlayStation. Yeah, how much did that all cost? My personal savings, not joint money. She was silent for a long while. Then you're truly not going to say sorry. I'm truly not saying sorry for something I didn't do. So what, you'll just stay in there permanently? Until you say sorry for wrongly accusing me and exiling me from my own bedroom. Yes, pretty much. This is absurd. It was absurd 3 weeks ago when you began it. Now it's simply my routine. She stood and walked away. Haven't seen her since. It's 10 p.m. now and she's in our former bedroom. I'm in my room writing this and eating delivery food. Got my game ready, cold beer from my fridge, and honestly, I'm content. Like truly content. Is this spiteful? Definitely. But I'm an adult man who got banished from his bedroom for assisting a neighbor with a carton. If she insists on standing firm on this issue, I'll construct an entire residence on my side. Update 1. Well, things have intensified in unexpected ways. Diana's sense of entitlement has soared to new levels, and I've had to counter it at every turn. First, she tried to use household tasks as leverage, stopped washing my clothes. Joke's on her. I bought a compact washer unit for $400 on Craigslist. Yes, it fits in my room. Then she quit preparing my meals for dinner. Fine, I've got my microwave and mini fridge. Began preparing meals in advance on Sundays. Even purchased an air fryer for $80 that fits on my desk. But this is where it became noteworthy. She arranged a house discussion with her closest friend Vanessa acting as mediator. They had me sit in the living room like it was some therapy session. Trevor, don't you agree this has gone too far? I'm simply honoring Diana's choice. She wanted me out of the bedroom. But you've converted the spare room into a guy hangout. And it's meant for visitors. What visitors? Your mom who books hotels because she dislikes our guest bath. Your brother who hasn't come in 2 years. That's not the issue. Actually, it is precisely the issue. The room was unused storage. Now it's functional. You're being vindictive. I'm being at ease. You made a choice. I adjusted. Then Diana played what she believed was her winning move. Fine, then I'm claiming the master bathroom exclusively. You can use the hallway one. Okay, she looked stunned. Vanessa appeared shocked. Okay, that's it. Yeah, you want to raise the stakes. Fine, the hallway bathroom works. What she didn't realize is that I'd already anticipated this. See, the hallway bathroom is adjacent to my room. The master is en suite to our old bedroom, but access requires going through the bedroom. That evening, I transferred all my items to the hallway bathroom, but I went further. Installed a rainfall showerhead for $60. Got one of those advanced Japanese toilet seats with bidet features, $200. Total game changer. Bought luxury towels, a humidifier, plants, everything. That bathroom transformed from ordinary to luxury in 48 hours. Meanwhile, Diana began noticing that claiming the master bathroom meant she alone maintained it. She complained to her sister over the phone. Thin walls, I overheard it all. He doesn't even use it now. He switched to the other bathroom and upgraded it. He got a bidet, Jenna, a bidet. But the highlight came 3 days ago. Diana's job announced a hybrid schedule. 3 days in office, 2 remote. She needs a workspace at home. Guess which room she figured she'd claim? She knocked on my door at 7 a.m. Trevor, we need to discuss the spare room. My room? It has to become an office. I'm working remotely twice a week starting next month. That's great, congratulations. So you need to clear your things out. I actually chuckled. No, Trevor, I require an office. Then create one in the bedroom. It's spacious. There's no room with the bed and furniture. Then rearrange, or you could end the pettiness and let me keep the room. The room I've funded to equip. The room I'm occupying because you banished me. That room, she switched tactics, I'll allow you back in the bedroom if you surrender the office. But I'd still need to say sorry, of course. Then no. She slammed the door and departed. 20 minutes later, I heard drilling. She was setting up a desk in the living room corner. Her workspace is now in the shared area where I watch television. Guess who purchased noise-canceling headphones for $300 and doesn't mind? Yesterday was the peak of entitlement, though. I returned home to discover the lock on my door had been damaged. There were scrape marks around the keypad. She had clearly attempted to force entry. I confronted her right away. Did you try to force your way into my room? It's not your room. Did you or did you not tamper with the lock? I needed to inspect for property damage. By forcing entry, it's my house too, which is why I can have a lock on my door. And why your attempt to damage it could be seen as vandalism. She paled. You wouldn't report that. Test me. I added a camera in the hallway facing my door that same night. Disclosure in shared spaces is legal here. She knows it's there. The indicator light glows at her whenever she passes. Rick visited to watch the game last night. Diana freaked out. You can't bring people in there. Why not? It's my room. I don't want outsiders in my home. Rick's been here dozens of times. You attended his wedding. Not in that room, which is my room where I can host guests. She actually contacted the authorities. Seriously, claimed I was refusing to vacate a room in her house. The officer who arrived looked exhausted, assessed the scenario quickly. Me calmly stating I reside here, contribute half the mortgage, and am in my own space. Diana ranting about spare rooms and apologies. Officer, ma'am, does he live here? Yes, but is he threatening you? No, but is he violating any laws? He installed a lock on an interior door in a house he co-owns. Diana fell silent. Officer to me, you too might want counseling. After he departed, Diana sent me a Venmo request for $1,400. Note, half of your room items since it's shared property. I rejected it and sent her one for $1,900 for half the bedroom items I'm barred from using. She rejected that and sent another for $500 for emotional harm. I sent one for $1 for the carton I helped Melissa carry. Silence since then. Update 2, the prolonged conflict persisted, but Diana committed a critical mistake that shifted everything. Following the police incident, she went all out, changed the Wi-Fi password. Joke's on her. I arranged separate internet wired directly to my room. The installer found it odd, but $90 monthly for tranquility, worth it. Then she began hosting her friends frequently. Wine evenings, book discussions, jewelry sales, all intentionally noisy, all near my door. I simply increased my soundbar volume and upgraded blackout curtains. But then she overstepped. Last Tuesday, I arrived home to my room door standing open. The lock had been entirely removed. My belongings were present but rearranged. My PlayStation was disconnected and relocated. My mini fridge was switched off, food beginning to go bad. My bed was stripped, linens heaped. And a note, maintenance check necessary, management. Except we own the property, no management. I phoned her instantly. What the hell, Diana? The room required checking for damage. You forced entry into my room and moved my things. It's not forcing entry if I co-own the house. You removed my lock. That's vandalism. Prove it. That's when I lost patience, but not as she anticipated. See, Diana overlooked something key. She's not the only one who can document. I'd been saving evidence. Every message admitting she exiled me, every attempt to access my room, the police record from her unfounded call, the damaged lock with pictures. And now this. I didn't shout. I didn't debate. I simply said, okay. Then I contacted my attorney. Yes, I retained legal counsel, not for divorce. Not immediately, but for legal separation and official household division. The documents served to her 3 days later were satisfying. Seeking exclusive occupancy of the spare room, my room, compensation for destroyed property, the lock, and formal allocation of home areas. She arrived in tears, real tears. You hired a lawyer. You forced entry into my room and damaged my property. It's a lock, Trevor, that you damaged. After exiling me from our bedroom for assisting someone with a carton. You're going to ruin our marriage over this? Me. I'm just occupying a spare room. You're the one escalating for 6 weeks. Then the emotional plea. I'm overwhelmed, work is awful. Mom's pressuring me and you just left me. You literally banished me. I wanted you to show effort for us by saying sorry for something I didn't do to prove you valued me. I proved I valued myself enough not to accept false blame. She hired her own attorney, who, per my lawyer, essentially dismissed her position. Exiling your spouse from the bedroom, then alleging abandonment when they relocate elsewhere, damaging their property, then asserting rights. Best of luck. But here's where Diana truly undermined herself. She tried to lure me back. Began wearing lingerie around the house. Preparing fancy dinners she'd consume in my view. Bringing home treats from my favorite bakery. I just continued my routine. Meal prepping, gaming with Rick, taking online coding classes I'd begun. Then she deployed the ultimate tactic. She invited Melissa and her boyfriend over for a meal, without warning me, naturally. I discovered them in the dining room when I got home. Diana beaming, pouring wine, playing perfect host. "Trevor, come join us. I was just getting acquainted with our new neighbors." Melissa appeared embarrassed. Her boyfriend, Tony, seemed bewildered. "Thanks, but I have plans," I said, grabbing a protein shake from the kitchen. "Don't be impolite, dear. Sit down." The dear was so forced it stung. "I'm fine." "Have a good meal." Diana's expression crumbled. Melissa stood quickly. "Actually, we have an early start tomorrow." "But you only just arrived," Diana objected. "Yeah, we're sorry. The food looks wonderful, though." They hurried out. Tony muttered, "What was that about?" as they left. Diana exploded. "You humiliated me. You humiliated yourself. You invited the person you accused me of pursuing to prove some point. I was being friendly. You were being controlling. I'm attempting to rescue our marriage. By refusing to acknowledge you were mistaken, I wasn't mistaken. Then there's nothing to rescue." That was last week. Yesterday, Diana left the house. Not forever, she's staying with her sister. But she packed suitcases and left a message. "Since you prefer living solo." The ironic part, I don't prefer living alone. I just wanted my wife to admit fault on one matter, that I hadn't flirted with anyone. That helping carry a carton isn't wrongdoing. That banishing me was excessive. Instead, she opted to destroy our life. My attorney says I have a solid position to retain the house in divorce, particularly with her voluntary exit and records of her initial exile. But that's not my goal. I'm in my room, my truly excellent room, writing this update. The house is silent, too silent. But I refuse to say sorry for something I didn't do. She messages every few hours. Varies from "I miss you" to "you're destroying everything" to "just say sorry and we can move past it." 6 weeks ago, I assisted a neighbor with a carton. That's all. That's the offense that apparently ended our marriage. Final update. It's finished, not the marriage. That's certainly finished. But this entire wild ordeal finally has closure. Diana remained at her sister's for 2 weeks, sharing vague quotes online about self-worth and believing actions over words. The hypocrisy escaped her. In that period, I had the home valued, discussed buyout possibilities with my lawyer, began individual therapy, should have started sooner. And yes, continued enhancing my room, added a compact beer cooler. Because I could. Then Diana returned with her brother Kyle in a moving truck. No heads up. I was working remotely. My employer has been accommodating. When I heard activity outside, she entered confidently as if full owner, which she half was. "I'm collecting my belongings, okay, and the bedroom set. It's half mine." "Then take the bed and dresser. You can keep the nightstands." "Fine." She was attempting to provoke me. When it failed, Kyle intervened. "You really screwed up, dude." "You know that? How so, Kyle?" "You embarrassed my sister, made her feel unwelcome in her own house. She exiled me from our bedroom for helping a neighbor with a carton." "That's not her version." "I'm certain it's not," Diana cut in. "I want the living room TV too. That's mine. I bought it pre-marriage." "My receipt proves otherwise," she flushed. "Fine, the kitchen gadgets then. We purchased those jointly. You can take half. How do I split a microwave, Trevor?" "That's for you to figure, just as sleeping on the couch was for me." Kyle reached for the coffee machine. I blocked it. "That's from my room. Purchased 6 weeks ago. Prove it." I showed the Amazon receipt on my phone. Diana snatched the countertop Keurig instead. "This one then? Take it." They spent 3 hours inventorying the house, claiming items, debating everything. Diana attempted to claim my gaming chair from my room. "This was originally in the spare room." "Yes, and you exiled me there. It's mine now." "A court won't agree." "Then let one decide." She relented. The major outburst occurred when she learned I'd been recording everything. Kyle was packing when Diana rushed down from the attic. "You locked the attic storage?" "No, I padlocked my half. Yours remains accessible." "How did you even separate it?" "Tape down the center, your holiday decor and old clothing on the left." She checked upstairs, returned enraged. "You claimed more area." "I took precisely half." I measured. This is childish. Trevor, we're grown-ups. Grown-ups don't typically get banished from bedrooms and then divide attics, but here we are. Kyle added, you're being a spiteful. Kyle, watch your words. You're in my home. It's Diana's too for now. That halted them. Diana, what do you mean for now? I mean divorce is coming. The house will be sold or one buys out the other. This concludes. You're divorcing me. Over this? Over you exiling me, falsely accusing me, refusing to admit fault, forcing entry into my room, damaging my property, calling police on me, and now claiming half our possessions. Yes, I don't want divorce. Then you should have considered that before treating neighborly help as betrayal. She actually collapsed onto the floor in the hallway. This isn't how it should have ended. How should it have, Diana? You expected me to say sorry, endure the couch briefly, feel remorse, then return and value you more. Value you for wrongly blaming me, for proving commitment to our marriage. That's not commitment. That's manipulation. Kyle assisted her up. Come on, Dee, let's leave. I'm not going, this is my home. You already left, you're at Jenna's, right? She made one final attempt. If you cared about me, you'd say sorry just to stop this. If you cared about me, you wouldn't demand I say sorry for nothing. They departed with the truck partially loaded. Diana weeping, Kyle grumbling about legal action. Divorce proceedings started 2 weeks ago. She's contesting, pushing for reconciliation therapy. The mediator we saw, required by court, heard our account and essentially declared it irreparable. Diana's counsel recommended accepting the buyout. I'm retaining the house, paying her half the equity, worth it to me. My room is already ideal, and now I reclaim the master too. Might remove the wall, create a massive suite. Who knows? Our final message exchange. This is truly the end, over a carton? It was never the carton. Then what? It was respect, trust, equality. You demonstrated none of that. I felt jealous. It's natural. Jealousy is natural. Your response wasn't. So you're quitting? I'm advancing. After nearly 10 years, me after 6 weeks of you revealing your true self. No reply after that. I'm managing all right. The house is quiet but calm. Started seeing people casually, nothing serious, just casual meetups. Been honest about the recent events. Most are stunned by the tale. One woman remarked, you built a man cave in the spare room rather than say sorry. Epic, another called me overly rigid. Valid point, not all matches work. Rick assisted moving the bedroom set back last weekend. Entering that master felt strange, like revisiting a bad memory, but I'm gradually making it mine. Diana's still at her sister's from what I know. Still sharing posts about unhealthy partnerships and warning signs. Still claiming to listeners that I destroyed our marriage over nothing. But here's the reality. It wasn't nothing. It was everything. Every instance she ignored my perspective. Every demand for apologies over her assumptions. Every choice of dominance over dialogue. The carton was merely the final trigger that collapsed the structure. Do I regret refusing to say sorry? No, because yielding would have perpetuated the pattern. She'd continue controlling and manipulating. I'd continue placating and enabling. Sometimes the tiniest battles are worth fighting because they symbolize the larger issues. My upgraded room setup is outstanding, though. Kept the gaming area there. Master bedroom now solely for rest. Best of both. Thanks for reading this wild saga. I'm turning the page and progressing. To anyone facing similar dynamics, never say sorry for actions you didn't take. Not even once. It never stops there. Take care. P.S. Melissa and Tony invited me for drinks last week. They shared that the dinner was the most uncomfortable moment of their lives. Diana apparently talked non-stop about our wonderful marriage while clearly holding back tears. They felt so awkward they considered relocating. I shared the full account. Tony covered the next round and said, man, respect for holding firm. Good neighbors.